Hello, friends. Welcome back to Get Happy, Be Fit. This is my first episode in the new studio, which is kind of sparse right now, but you'll slowly see it evolve over time. I'm pretty excited about it. Pretty sure it will also take some trial and error to figure out new equipment, so bear with me. But guys, we made it. It's the last Monday of 2020. I'm sure we're all ready to leave this year behind us. It has definitely been challenging and honestly scary at times, but we got through. The end of 2020 is near. And the end of 2020 is also a significant milestone for me because it marks 1 year that I have been doing this podcast. My first official episode dropped January 1st of 2020. My biggest goal and resolution last year was to start a podcast and be consistent with it. And it's really cool for me to look back and say, I never missed a Monday. I never missed an episode. And this was a huge thing for me because I've often started things in my life, gotten discouraged, and then quit. So I'm definitely celebrating my persistence and dedication to this particular goal. And this is the time of year that people start to say things like, new year, new me, and make all these lofty goals, thinking that the change of a year will somehow magically give them the drive needed to do the things they've never been able to follow through on before. And most of these goals go unaccomplished because people soon realize it's still normal life and the new year hasn't magically made them a different person. But I have good news for you. You don't have to be a different person or a new you to accomplish something that's big, exciting, or impressive. You literally already are that person. You already have it in you to do and accomplish what you want to do and accomplish. The last 3 years, I have accomplished the New Year's resolutions I set for myself. In 2018, I wanted to compete in a bikini competition, and I competed in 2. In 2019, I wanted to become financially self-sufficient after my divorce. And I did. In 2020, I wanted to start a podcast and keep it going, and I did. And I think a lot of people would hear that and think, well, I'm not like you. You actually accomplish your goals. I can't do what you do. But y'all, that's 3 years out of 37, and I never accomplished my New Year's resolutions before that. So what was the shift for me? How did I go from never accomplishing a resolution to doing it 3 years in a row? First of all, I cannot stress enough how much therapy helped me. Shifting my perspective of myself, taking responsibility for my life, and finding love for myself and my body was an integral part of any success that I've had. Also, I stopped choosing things that were unrealistic or that I thought I should do to be more worthy or loved, like never eating sugar again or getting to a certain size, which was my New Year's resolution for more years than I can count. I started choosing resolutions I was excited about, things that in the long run would create the life I wanted. Even in 2018, when I competed in a bikini competition, which would require losing weight, I was excited about the challenge. I was excited to push myself and see what I could accomplish. It wasn't about being good enough. It wasn't about getting attention for being thin or fit. It was for me to prove to myself I had what it takes. And it was challenging and really fun. I also worked on my perfectionism mindset, understanding that failure is an integral part of success. And the key is to keep trying until you find what works helped me overcome my avoidance of taking chances out of fear of failure. This is when I adopted the belief that something is always better than nothing, even if it doesn't work the first time. In order to achieve every one of these goals the past few years, I had to really push myself. And the harder I pushed myself, the easier it became to overcome things, because I was proving to myself time and time again that I could do it when I didn't feel like I could. But I didn't have to push myself 100% of the time because I was really motivated and excited for the end result. And because it was all rooted in love and achieving something I wanted for healthy reasons, It was fun most of the time. Sometimes it epically sucked and I was in tears, but then I would look back and think, man, that was rough, but I am so glad I stuck it out and didn't give up because look where I am now. So what do you want to accomplish this year? Pick one thing that is big for you, one thing you haven't done because you're scared of failing or that you don't think you have what it takes. Start going for it one step at a time. You don't have to know every single element of how it will work or how you will get there because like everything else in life, it will take trial and error and it will take some failure to figure out what works. But keep taking steps and keep adjusting until you get there. You already have what it takes inside you. You are already the person who can do what you want to do, even though you may not feel like it. There may be some things in the way that you have to work through. I had to work through my self-loathing, my desperate need to be a certain size, and the feeling that if I couldn't do something perfectly, I didn't want to do it. And maybe that's your New Year's resolution, to work through the things that are holding you back. And that's one of the best resolutions possible because it will open you up to doing so much more than you thought possible. And you can work to accomplish things you want while you work through the things that are holding you back. Doing these things simultaneously will help you see where your roadblocks are as you go along. And if you're in therapy, you can bring those things to your therapist as they come up. Or maybe acknowledging them on your own will help you push through them because you see what they are. You can accomplish goals and work on yourself at the same time. You don't have to wait until you think you're ready. And we all suffer from imposter syndrome. We all feel like there's already someone doing what we want to be doing, and there's always someone who we think is doing what we want to do better. But no one is doing exactly what you want to do because no one else is you. You bring something unique to the table because you are unique. One of my very best friends is an artist. She does these adorable little doodles that are just so specific to her and her personality, and they're so special, and I am just totally obsessed with them. I've commissioned her to do 2 little doodles for Todd for our anniversary last year and Christmas this year. And they were perfect. The one I gave him for Christmas legit made him cry. I highly recommend you follow her on Instagram. It's @_LunaDoodles_. So it's LUNADOODLES _before_after. Please follow. But this friend, who is more than likely listening to this right now, may not realize this, but she and I are so alike in that we both struggle with feeling like someone else is already doing what we're doing, only better, so what's the point in putting ourselves out there? Y'all, I literally feel like this at least 3 times a month about this podcast. I frequently feel like an inadequate failure, but I keep going anyway. And every time I hear from a listener telling me that this podcast has helped them, it all feels worth it, and I'm so glad I haven't quit. So I'm calling out my friend and her adorable little doodles because she needs to start an Etsy shop. Like so many of us starting something new, she wanted to start an Etsy shop, but was a bit reluctant because she didn't know where to start. And I was like, girl, I got you. Let's do this because the world needs her doodles. And I've had an Etsy shop before, so I know how to do it. When I competed in bikini competitions, I had coaches. When I started my podcast, Todd helped me. I had no idea what I was doing. Find someone who knows more than you about what you want to do and don't be afraid to ask for help. Or research and try things until you figure them out. That's how Todd learned to do all of the video and audio editing he does. He didn't go to classes or have someone coach him. He watched tutorials and played with things until he figured them out. And now it's his full-time job. This is exactly what Marie Forleo talks about in her book, Everything is Figureoutable. If you want a New Year's read that's a great one for getting motivated and feeling like you can accomplish what you want, I highly recommend that one. The important part of all of this is not to give up if your first or second or third or fourth try doesn't work. Keep adjusting. The successful people aren't necessarily the most talented. They're the ones who stick it out when others don't. So this year, pick something you're excited about and pursue it relentlessly. When 2022 comes around, it doesn't matter one bit if you hit your ultimate goal. What does matter is that you keep trying and keep unearthing those parts of yourself that are buried underneath the desire to be safe and not take chances. If you choose a fitness goal this year, do it for you. Do it out of excitement for what you can accomplish. Do it for health. Do it to feel better, and do it from a place of love and respect for yourself, not shame or hatred for your body. Also, don't completely overhaul your life in one fell swoop. Make sustainable changes and create balance. And don't make fitness your only life goal. Life is about so much more, and you have so much to offer, so don't sell yourself short. You are more than a body. Take the chances you're scared to take. Do the things you want to do. You have what it takes right now. You don't need a new you. You are already enough, and you always have been. All right, that's all for today.